Hi everyone, welcome to my channel and happy Valentine's Day if you are celebrating. My name's Noel and I review and unbox subscription boxes here on my channel. And today I have a one-time box from a quarterly book subscription that's been sent to me for review as one of their ambassadors. It is the Valentine's Day box from the Literary Book Club, and they even did a special pink box for this edition. Now the quarterly subscription always features classic novels, gorgeous editions of them. It's $74.99 plus shipping. I do have an affiliate link as well as a code for you to save $5 on your first box. The code is just mauinoel, and I'll leave the affiliate link for you in the description box below. Of course, you can use that affiliate link to check out some of the one-time boxes that they still have in the marketplace, but often these get scooped up really quickly because once you are a subscriber, then you usually find out about these releases a little early, and you also get a nice little discount as a subscriber too. Now, I know that this one was a little bit different because instead of a classic novel, she did, like I said, go with a collection of poetry. And I was a little bit surprised by the poet that Katie chose, just because I don't usually think of Emily Dickinson as a love poet, but she is very important to me, or someone significant in my poetry reading, because Emily Dickinson is actually in my family tree. So I am adopted. So in my adopted family tree, you can find Emily Dickinson, which is kind of interesting, kind of cool to have ties to a well-known poet who was not necessarily a well-known poet in her lifetime. But I was very excited to see in this gorgeous edition of the selected poems of Emily Dickinson that there were sections that were dedicated to what they considered love poems. Some of them were a little bit sad, as is true with love in general, but I will read a few of those to you. That's how I selected them. I went through the table of contents and I decided there were 3 different sections with love poems, and I picked one from each. So the way it goes usually is you get a beautiful box, you open it up. On the very bottom, there's going to be a nice print with a quote from the book, and in this case we got that, of course, as well as kind of a spoiler sheet. So I usually go ahead and look at the spoiler sheet just to see what we've got in the box, but a lot of people like to save it for the very end. This time around, it was kind of nice. She said on the side that was facing up, it said, "No spoilers here, just make sure you have all your gifts with this list. Spoilers are on the other side." But basically, we got our classic book, of course. We got our swag bag, and I'll go through the contents of the swag bag. We got our 8x10 art print, which has our beautiful quote, which definitely has some kind of springy vibes to it. And then we have a while you read gift. We have 3 gifts that are supposed to be read after, you read 1 poem, you read 2 poems, you read 3 poems, and then finally just a little bonus gift that wasn't even wrapped. So kind of a fun, different style of box. And this box was $99. And then again, you get those 5 gifts, and then plus the 8x10 print, and plus all of the swag bag stuff. So one thing that we do always get is a nice little sort of sealed envelope that tells us a little bit more. And this actually just pulled from sort of the blurb that was along the back of this gorgeous edition. So I will read that to you. It says, born in 1830 in Amherst, Massachusetts, to a prominent New England family and educated at Amherst Academy and Mount Holyoke Female Seminary, Emily Elizabeth Dickinson lived most of her life in seclusion. Devoted to writing, she scarcely left home, nor did she have many visitors. Only 10 of her poems were published in her lifetime, submitted without her permission by friends. It was only after her death in 1886 that the scope of her work as a poet came to light. Over 1,700 poems were discovered in a dresser drawer by her sister, Lavinia. Emily Dickinson's poems reflect her loneliness, as well as her love of nature, the influence of the metaphysical poets of 17th century England, and her strong Puritan religious beliefs. Yet, it is her use of language, form, and the deceptive simplicity of her verse that categorize her as an important force in 19th century American letters, and along with Walt Whitman, a founder of a distinctly American voice in modern poetry. And that is something that I definitely studied back in school. I just thought, look how beautiful it is on the interior of this. Pretty thin pages. I did put a lot of markers in there, but I'm just going to show you like an example of the table of contents. So they have them divided by the year in which they were probably written. And then we have things like life, love, nature, time and eternity. And then again, we kind of repeat those. So like I said, I picked one out of each of the 3 love sections to read to you, and we'll open up the corresponding gifts as we go along. But let's take a quick look at our swag bag first, which came like this. And I think I actually have one of the swag bag items kind of in here. So yes, we got this gorgeous bookmark that goes along. It has Katie's beautiful script because she is quite the artist. So of course it has a very familiar and famous quote from Emily Dickinson, this nice, beautiful, wide bookmark. And then it does match the quote that we got on our 8x10 print, which of course, let me see if I can hold this up for you and read it to you. Hope is the thing with feathers that perches in the soul and sings the tune without the words and never stops at all. So lovely little item there. And then of course, we also got a few more things in our swag bag. Let me pull that out. We got a great, I'm excited about the sticker with that same quote. And then of course, we have a nice book plate that matches everything. So fun to get the little extras in the swag bag. And then of course, let me just go ahead and read the rest of that poem. So it was on page 61. Hope. Hope is the thing with feathers that perches in the soul and sings the tune without the words and never stops at all. And sweetest in the gale is heard, and sore must be the storm that could abash the little bird that kept so many warm. I've heard it in the chillest land and on the strangest sea. Yet never in extremity it asked a crumb of me. So just kind of a beautiful poem about hope. And you know, they say hope dies last. It's one of those things that we just can't help ourselves but to have, and it's so powerful. All right, let's go ahead and see our While You Read gift. So look at this beautiful little Valentine's Day box. I thought that was adorable. And we often get a While You Read gift, and then usually in the quarterly boxes, there's usually one gift that's open when the last page has been read. But we usually get a While You Read book gift, which is usually like something to drink or something to eat along with your read. And then, you know, three to four gifts, and then the one that you open at the very end. So this one is just a self-care herbal loose leaf tea. It's honey bush tea, elderberries, peaches, apple pieces, marigold, natural apricot essence. So I think that actually sounds great. So it's a self-care tea, but I just love the little box that she included it in. I think that's really, really special. So let me just shove that back in there. And then I will find you our first love poem. They're all very, very short. Of course, Emily Dickinson, I always think of her as the queen of the M dashes because she likes to have those dashes going along everywhere. So our first one that I will read to you, let's see. Oh, this one is very sweet. It's about kind of like waiting on a loved one. So if you were coming in the fall, I'd brush the summer by with half a smile and half a spurn, as housewives do a fly. If I could see you in a year, I'd wind the months in balls and put them each in separate drawers until their time befalls. If only centuries delayed, I'd count them on my hand, subtracting till my fingers dropped into Van Diemen's land. If certain, when this life was out, that yours and mine should be, I'd toss it yonder like a rind and taste eternity. But now, all ignorant of the length of time's uncertain wing, it goads me like the goblin bee that will not state its sting. So when you don't know how long it's going to be until you see that loved one again, it is so difficult. If you just knew, even if it was a really, really long time, even if it was like until the end of your life, it would make it a little bit easier. But not knowing when the next time will be, not having those days or months to count down, makes it so much more difficult. And I thought that was really, really sweet. Let's see, I think I marked another one. Ooh, this one seemed a little bit saucy. I felt like you could like read into this one. It's called Apotheosis. Come slowly, Eden, lips unused to thee, bashful sip thy jasmines as the fainting bee, reaching late his flower round her chamber hums, counts his nectars, enters, and is lost in balms. Ooh, a little spicy. So let's open up our first gift that came in this lovely little bag. Always great packaging, always fun. So let me know if you picked this one up as something special. Ooh, I love these. This is one of my favorite chocolate brands that I discovered through subscription boxes. It is the Pink Bubbly Chocolate Truffles from Seattle Chocolate, and they're almost like Pop Rocks. They kind of sparkle in your mouth. These are some of my absolute favorites. I'm so excited. I did wait, obviously, until this unboxing to open them up, so I'm thrilled, and it makes so much sense for that to come early in your reading experience. So let me go ahead and see the next one that I have saved for you. Let's see if I can find the next one. Which one did I save for this one? Let's see. Oh, this one was kind of sweet. So it's called At Home. The night was wide and furnished scant with but a single star, that often as a cloud it met blew out itself for fear. The wind pursued the little bush and drove away the leaves November left, then clambered up and fretted on the eaves. No squirrel went abroad. A dog's belated feet like intermittent plush were heard adown the empty street. To feel if blinds be fast, and closer to the fire her little rocking chair to draw, and shiver for the poor, the housewife's gentle task. How pleasanter, said she, unto the sofa opposite, the sleet than May. Know thee. So she's, the housewife is like thinking of all the cold creatures outdoors, but she's saying, you, my love, across the, sitting on the couch across from me are more sweet, more dear, in contrast to the cold. So that's really cute. That in contrast to like May to sleet versus like you are even more special than May compared to this horrible sleet outside. So I thought that was really sweet. I loved the line of a dog's belated feet like intermittent plush were heard adown the empty street. I thought that was a good one. I think I had another one that I thought was, I thought this one was cute, about watching two other people who are clearly in love with one another. It's called The Lovers. So it says, the rose did caper on her cheek, her bodice rose and fell, her pretty speech like drunken men did stagger pitiful. Her fingers fumbled at her work. Her needle would not go. What ailed so smart a little maid, it puzzled me to know, till opposite I spied a cheek that bore another rose, just opposite another speech that like the drunkard goes, a vest that like the bodice danced to the immortal tune, till those two troubled little clocks ticked softly into one. So they're both like kind of a titter and like, catching glances, and I just love that description of two troubled little clocks that are finally in tune with one another and ticking, their little heartbeats ticking together in time. I thought that was a sweet one. So we have, so I actually read 2 poems out of the first 2 sections of Love Poetry. So we have this little box, which I actually haven't opened everything, so this is kind of fun for me as well. Oh, I thought this was going to be a candle. From the top, I thought it was a candle, but it is Peaceful Magnesium Cream with lavender, geranium, and vanilla from Wicked Soaps Co. So we've definitely gotten stuff from Wicked Soaps Co. before, but doesn't look like a candle. So that's kind of nice. So again, very self-care friendly. So it's got this kind of rosy glow to it. Doesn't have, it does have like a little bit of a rose scent to it. It says, many of us suffer from magnesium deficiency. It is a vital mineral that does wonders for our health and wellness and is easily absorbed into the body through the skin. It helps reduce stress and anxiety, improves sleep. I've definitely heard that. Aches and pains, and restless leg syndrome. I have that. It says to use, gently massage a small amount into belly, feet, legs, or sore area after shower or before bed. A light tingling sensation is normal, but discontinue if irritation occurs. So that's kind of a cool self-care item. But yes, I've definitely heard magnesium creams are really good for, I have less restless leg syndrome. So I definitely will give that a try. And it smells nice, but she did all the peachy, pinky colors for Valentine's Day. All right, we have one more. So she just did it for 3 poems, and there's hundreds of poems in here. So let's see which one I saved. Oh, this one is a little bit heartbreaking, but I'm going to read it to you anyway. It's called Forgotten. There is a word which bears a sword, can pierce an armored man. It hurls its barbed syllables, at once is mute again. But where it fell, the saved will tell on patriotic day, some epauletted brother gave his breath away. Wherever runs the breathless sun, wherever roams the day, there is its noiseless onset, there is its victory. Behold, the keenest marksman, the most accomplished shot, time's sublimest target, is a soul forgot. So when you feel forgotten, that is when you have the most heartbreak, when you really have been pierced by that love arrow. I thought that was really, really good. Let's see, I think I had one more that I thought was good that I wanted to read. Oh, this was another sad one, but short. Heart, we will forget him, you and I tonight. You may forget the warmth he gave. I will forget the light. When you have done, pray tell me, that I my thoughts may dim. Haste, lest while you're lagging, I may remember him. So she's like talking to her heart and being like, all right, we got to get over this guy. So you go on your merry way and start forgetting. But in the meantime, until you do, I won't be able to. So I just thought that was so sad. So sad. You may forget the warmth he gave. I will forget the light. When you've done, pray tell me, that I my thoughts may dim. Haste, lest while you're lagging, I may remember him. Oh, all right. Here it is. So I guess she does have some love poetry, but it's still kind of sad or like very sweet. So when it's a sweet poem, it's like this imagined setting where it's like the housewife across from her husband or the two lovers across from each other in a room, and in this third person version. And then when it's her, she's actually, or the speaker in the poem, when it's her, she's either waiting and she doesn't know when she's going to see that loved one again, or she's been forgotten, or she needs to forget that person. So it's very sad and lonely. So that is kind of like my general feeling of the Emily Dickinson vibe. So that's why I was like kind of surprised, but it's poignant. It is definitely love, and we all know love hurts, right? So I think that is the moral of the story. Here we go in this nice little box. It is, after reading 3 poems, but really I read you guys 6 poems because they're short. Actually, I guess I read you 7 because I also read the Hope poem. What is this? We've got lots of tissue. What the heck is this? Wow. Okay, so it does have a little bit of dust on it. So it looks like it has opened up just a tiny bit. This is so interesting. This is an aerosol-free dry shampoo. Aerosol-free grapefruit and orange dry shampoo powder spray. That does seem very like old-fashioned and Emily Dickinson, right? To have this, like you always saw those atomizers for like perfumes and things, and they would always have this big balloon on them so that you could spray things instead of the aerosol, the compressed air that we use now. So organic dry shampoo, suitable for all hair colors, in pink writing, of course. And I guess it looks like somehow it has like opened up, because I guess it goes through there and then you pull this cap off and then you spray it and it goes. So how interesting. That is so cool. I've never seen anything like that. So it says pump spray 4 to 6 inches away from head and directly at the roots. It says let powder sit for 3 minutes before massaging and getting it through your hair. That's so cool. So for those of you who are trying to not use aerosol products, that is pretty neat. It looks like a little bit of it got a bit atomized because it does have that little tube that passes through the top. So some of my dry shampoo is already on the outside, but that is really cool. I've never seen anything like that. Let me know in the comments below if you have. And then finally, we have one more bonus gift. So kind of like when the last page has been read, but you don't have to read, let me know in the comments below when you read a collection of poetry. If you read a collection of poetry, do you read it from front to back? I think that sometimes collections are actually meant to be read that way. And a lot of the times poems are very much standalone and don't necessarily need to be read that way. So it was kind of nice in the table of contents that they had it divided into different sections. But again, I just wanted you guys to see this beautiful edition just in case she has any of these available. It definitely doesn't have to be for Valentine's Day that you would enjoy this box, but I have a feeling a lot of poetry lovers might have gotten this box as a gift from someone who knows that they love poetry. So our little extra gift is You're One in a Melon. It was a cute little scrunchie in this peachy color with a it's actually a peach print, but it says One in a Melon on the card, but it's actually a little peach print on the scrunchie, which I thought was cute. It says cute fruit scrunchie, styles may vary. So maybe some people got the melon ones, and of course I got this little peach one, which I don't use a lot of scrunchies. but I do think this is pretty darn cute, and I thought this whole box overall was really fun. I do think even more so maybe than classic novels, you know, the Brontes and Jane Austen, even more so than classic novels, I feel like poetry is something that people don't read that often these days, and especially maybe people do more classic poetry like Miss Emily, but I tend to read more modern poets myself. So let me know in the comments below if you got this box, but if not, do you have a favorite poem or poet, and when was the last time that you read some poems? I would love to hear. So let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching this video. I truly appreciate your support, and again, I hope you're having a fantastic Valentine's Day, that you are celebrating love in some way, that you know that you are loved, and I will see you all very soon in my next unboxing.